Hi guys, I'm Refashion Hippie, and today we're going to talk all about WhatNot. So I was just accepted as a WhatNot seller. I will send more videos once I learn how to actually use it, but I want to talk to you guys about what WhatNot is and how easy it is to become a seller. So first question, what is WhatNot? Well, in 2019, WhatNot started as a platform to sell Funko Pop dolls. So they had a very, very limited sort of thing, but they have blown up. I'm sure you guys have heard about WhatNot everywhere. So now this is what WhatNot looks like. Think of it as your own little QVC show. So you set up a time that you want to go live, you upload what category you want, and then you load in all of your items. Usually it helps to have the pictures ahead of time. We'll get there. And that way somebody can click on your show, see what you're going to sell, sign up to be one of your followers, and get notified when you go live so that they can come in and purchase your items. And basically any time that you go onto WhatNot, someone will be selling stuff. There are certainly times it's more popular for certain categories, but overall, anytime you open your phone, there will be WhatNot sellers. So I just finished onboarding and I want to talk to you guys about what that process looks like. So unlike Poshmark or Mercari, where you just sign up and then congratulations, you're a seller, WhatNot does have a waiting period that you have to go through. So you answer some basic questions for them. You put in your username, email address, and then you link to any of your social media accounts or another primary place where you're selling, another platform. And that's so that they can check you out. And initially they were only letting in people who did have a big following, but now pretty much anybody can be a seller. There might be a little bit of a waiting period. I had to wait 2 weeks. I signed up for all my information. I got an email saying, congratulations, you're on the waiting list. It can take up to 2 weeks. For me, it took exactly 2 weeks. But then once I was approved to get through that first stage, then you go to their onboarding. So you set an appointment. There is a live person who actually sits there and chats with you and lets you know all of their different policies and everything. And I found that really helpful because, there's always going to be community guidelines, but you're always going to say you read them, but to actually have someone sit there and talk you through it and then be able to answer questions at the end was really helpful for me. I'm not a big tech person, so I just thought that was great that they do have an actual onboarding where you can talk to a person. So if you're at all scared of joining WhatNot, just dive into it. It really was not complicated for me. And so I'm going to talk to you about what that onboarding session actually looks like. So the first thing they did was just introduce WhatNot, just tell you what it is, where they are today, and where they think they're going to be. The next thing was this, just a quick selling overview. So they show you what the page is going to look like and give you more information about, what you should put in your title, what you should put in your description, all sorts of stuff like that. So it was a really, really basic overview, but it covered a lot of the basic questions that people have when they first sign up. The next thing I went over was the post-show stuff. So that talked about how you get paid, which is really easy, basically within 24 to 48 hours of when your item is delivered on someone's doorstep, your money comes through, and you can then request either a wire transfer or it gets put as WhatNot credit. And they also went over how the labels work. For me, one big question that I had is, say somebody tunes into my show and buys 3 items. Do they have to pay for 3 separate labels? And the answer was nope. They pay for 1 label, all of the shipping gets combined. So make sure you have a scale. But it's really basic questions like that that were giving me a little bit of anxiety about being on WhatNot. They answered them right away. Then they had a section on something really interesting, which is essentially that they do not allow gambling. So what that means is if I have a mystery box, people can bid on that mystery box, but the box cannot be empty. And likewise, I can have something where they have a pinwheel or something that sets up so that it spins, but I can't charge somebody $50 for nothing. If you're going to sell something as a mystery or mystery bags, mystery boxes, mystery item, you have to actually sell something, which is of course completely fair because they're trying to keep buyers happy as much as they're trying to keep sellers happy. And no one's going to be happy if they sent $50 to you and they end up with nothing. They also went over the community guidelines. Most of these are pretty basic. They want to make sure that you're not saying any kind of hate speech, that you're not saying anything racist, that you're not being abusive to any of your customers. And this also protects you. They want to make sure that customers are not being abusive to you. One thing that I really liked was they said that all of your shows are recorded by WhatNot. So if you're having some sort of issue with a buyer, they're saying that there was no stain on this pair of pants or whatever it is, they do record your show. So you can request a copy of your show in case there's any sort of issue. And then there's a lot of other basic stuff, like they just want to make sure that you are not being abusive to the WhatNot staff. So they do reserve the right to suspend your account or just ban you entirely, as with any other platform. But it really seems like there's a good community behind WhatNot, and they just want to make sure that everybody's getting the most that they possibly can without having to put up with any bad stuff. And then the last piece of information that they went over was just different ways to build your audience, because just like QVC, the more people that tune into you, the more sales you're likely to make. So the first one was just promote your sale. If you have something going on Saturday at 6, post it on Facebook, post it on your Instagram, post it wherever your friends are, and advertise it as much as possible. The one thing they don't want you to do is go into somebody else's show and say, hey, I'm also going to be selling sneakers. Tune into me. You know, that's just disrespectful to another seller. You can also use your stories. That's the first thing that somebody's going to see when they open WhatNot. If they follow you and you have a new story, it's going to show up right at the top of the screen. And they can click on that, and you can use that to show like previews of the items you're going to have, or anything that you think is going to draw those buyers in and get them to come watch your show, because you want as many eyeballs as possible. And then the last thing that they talked about was just tips on how to get the most followers, because you really want as many buyers as possible to see your shows. And if you have a follower, they will get notified every single time you go live. So once somebody starts to know you, they start to trust you, they know that you're going to deliver them a good product, you want to bring them back. So you want them to be your follower. So they just had tips about how to get more followers. And one thing that I thought was really great, because if you scroll through WhatNot, you'll see a lot of show advertisements are just like smiling women, yay. But like, who cares? So you want to use your preview video to show something more than just, I'm a happy lady with stuff to sell. Make a preview video, show some great items that you're going to have, show the quality of items that you're going to have, make that buyer interested and draw them in, because there's so many photos when you scroll through WhatNot of just smiling women. You don't want to look like it's your own hostage video. Nobody cares that you're a smiling woman. They care about the product they can get from your show. Like I said before, WhatNot seems to have a really good community behind it. They do have something called the Creator Academy, which once you're signed up to sell on WhatNot, it answers all those questions for you. So they have really helpful little videos. It seems like their customer service is really good about getting back to you. I am not a big tech person, and I'm not really great at being on camera. I hope that my first WhatNot show isn't me just staring at myself on the screen. It might be. But they have the Creator Academy, which really answers a lot of great questions for you. So it helped me, it calmed me down a little bit about what to expect. It just seemed, they have really good step-by-step walkthroughs, and they actually have a checklist about, here's your pre-show checklist, here's your checklist when you're going to go on, here's your post-show checklist. So really good information. And overall, this seems like a really simple app to use and a really simple app to sell on. They're trying to make it as clear-cut as possible. And I like that, you know, offers are binding, so there's not going to be this big back and forth and negotiation. I'm really hoping this works out, but I'll share everything I can with you guys. So overall, it was a really great experience. Onboarding was really easy. The last section was just a quick quiz, but it's one of those quizzes where if you answer wrong, you can answer as many times as possible. They just want to make sure that you're getting all of the information that you can, so you can be the best seller that you can, because that's how they make their money. And I'm really excited to start WhatNot. The commission fees come out to about 11%. So I'm excited to see what happens. This could really change my business. If I stick with this, it seems like it's something that could really, really grow. I can move through that death pile of stuff that is just waiting in my basement. I'm really excited to see what happens. So please let me know, are you already on WhatNot? Are you going to join WhatNot? What's holding you back? Is there any question that I can answer from you as I start my personal WhatNot journey? I'm really excited to see what happens. So I will let you guys know. Bye.